Have you ever felt like there's a fire burning deep inside you, one that pushes you to move faster, take risks, and break through every obstacle in your path? That restless energy, that fierce determination to lead and to conquer, is no accident. It's the signature flame of Aries, a spark ignited long before this lifetime, carrying the echoes of ancient soul missions and karmic lessons. Beneath the boldness and courage that Aries projects lies a profound spiritual journey, one that calls not just for bravery in the outside world, but for a fearless exploration of the inner self. This journey is about more than just being the first to take action. It's about transforming raw impulse into wisdom and harnessing fiery passion to illuminate not only your path but the lives of those around you. Every challenge, every moment of impatience or frustration, every triumphant leap forward is woven into a deeper story, one written across lifetimes and etched into your very soul. If you've ever wondered why you're drawn to the thrill of beginnings or why the fire inside sometimes feels both a gift and a burden, this exploration into Aries through the lens of karmic astrology is made for you. Together, we'll uncover what it truly means to be an Aries soul, destined to ignite change and lead with heart. So stay with me. This is a message that may just awaken the spark you were born to carry. The flame of Aries is unlike any other in the zodiac. It is raw, untamed, and intensely potent, embodying the very essence of initiation and creation. This fire is not merely about heat or passion in the surface sense, but symbolizes the soul's ancient impulse to move beyond inertia and ignite new cycles of existence. When we think about the beginning of anything, the first breath, the first step, the first spark of an idea, it's Aries energy that propels these moments into motion. This energy, however, is not casual or random. It is deeply embedded in the karmic blueprint of the soul, a spiritual contract agreed upon before birth, designed to challenge, transform, and ultimately awaken the individual to their highest potential. The significance of Aries fire goes far beyond physical action. It is the flame that lights the way through the unknown, urging the soul to embrace courage in the face of uncertainty. This courage, however, is not merely the absence of fear but rather the conscious decision to move forward despite it. The Aries soul is destined to pioneer, to forge paths where none exist, and to disrupt the status quo in service of growth and renewal. This relentless drive for beginnings and bold leaps is often misunderstood as impulsiveness or recklessness, but karmic astrology invites us to see it as a sacred mission, an expression of the soul's deep yearning to evolve. Delving into the karmic patterns of Aries, one uncovers stories etched across lifetimes that shape the present incarnation. The Aries soul has often returned from previous existences marked by roles of warriors, leaders, and explorers. These past lives carry vivid imprints, memories of battles fought on both literal and metaphorical fields. The intensity of these experiences imbues Aries with a unique resilience and an instinctive readiness to face conflict head-on. Yet, these echoes from the past also bring their shadows, wounds from betrayals, scars from abandonment, and the burden of impulsive decisions that once caused pain, even if unintentionally. Such karmic residues can manifest in today's life as a compelling urge to constantly prove oneself, to engage in struggles that may no longer serve growth, or to rush headlong into situations without pause for reflection. This inner restlessness can feel like a double-edged sword, fueling ambition and courage on one hand, while also sowing seeds of frustration and emotional turbulence on the other. The Aries soul carries this invisible armor, a protective shell forged from past hardships, which can both shield and isolate, sometimes preventing genuine connection or inner peace. As the Aries journey unfolds, the spiritual challenge becomes increasingly clear, transforming this raw, reactive energy into a source of wisdom and conscious power. The key lies in tempering the fire, not in extinguishing it, but in learning to control its direction and intensity. True strength for Aries is not about domination or brute force but about mastering patience, cultivating self-awareness, and embracing compassion for oneself and others. This shift invites Aries to step out of the cycle of impulsivity and into a realm where courage is paired with thoughtful action and emotional responsibility. A profound awakening happens when Aries begins to understand that leadership is not about imposing will or overwhelming others with force. Instead, it emerges from the ability to inspire through authenticity, to lead by example, and to create spaces where others can also ignite their own flames. This transformation is not just an individual evolution but a ripple effect that touches families, communities, and even larger societal movements. Aries, once driven solely by the need to break new ground, learns to balance initiative with cooperation, bravery with humility. Relationships offer a potent arena for these lessons to manifest. Aries' passionate and fiercely independent spirit can sometimes clash with the needs and rhythms of others, especially those who require more emotional attunement or slower pacing. Navigating love and friendship challenges Aries to soften the edges of their fiery nature without losing their essence. It becomes a dance of vulnerability and strength, recognizing that true courage also means opening the heart to others, relinquishing control, and embracing the give and take of deep connection. These relational dynamics serve as mirrors, reflecting Aries' growth areas and inviting continuous healing. Within professional spheres, Aries' dynamism and leadership qualities shine, yet the karmic lessons urge a more nuanced approach. The impulse to act swiftly, to lead the charge without delay, can sometimes undermine long-term success if not balanced with strategic patience. Embracing the value of process, learning to trust the timing of growth, and fostering collaboration with diverse talents become essential. Aries learns to discern when to forge ahead boldly and when to step back and support the collective journey. This expanded perspective elevates Aries from a mere trailblazer to a wise architect of sustainable progress. Beneath all these external manifestations lies Aries' most intimate and challenging battlefield, the inner emotional world. The fire within can rage fiercely, producing waves of anger, frustration, and impatience that threaten to consume. Yet, this very fire holds the potential for profound transformation. By cultivating self-observation and emotional regulation, Aries can turn what once felt like an uncontrollable blaze into a steady source of creative energy. Techniques such as mindfulness, reflective practices, and conscious breathing become powerful tools for Aries to channel their passion constructively. This journey toward emotional mastery is vital for Aries to fulfill their spiritual destiny. When Aries aligns their inner flame with soul wisdom, their natural gifts become illuminated in their highest form. The authentic courage to be vulnerable, the humility to lead by example, and the strength to inspire without overpowering mark the soul's evolution from reactive warrior to enlightened pioneer. This transformation also sets a powerful precedent for others, inviting collective awakening and positive change. As Aries learns to govern their emotional landscape, they embody the essence of the archetypal warrior, not one who fights external battles blindly, but one who conquers the inner dragons of fear and impulsivity. This internal victory is the foundation for true leadership, one that empowers rather than controls, that encourages growth rather than domination. Aries becomes a beacon of authenticity and courage, lighting the way for others to follow their own paths with confidence and heart. The soul's ancient choice to incarnate as Aries carries immense responsibility, but also extraordinary gifts. It is a call to initiate transformation on every level, personal, relational, and societal. Through embracing their karmic lessons and consciously channeling their fire, Aries not only fulfills their own spiritual evolution but also ignites collective progress. This sacred mission transcends individual ambition and taps into a higher purpose, to lead with love, to inspire through action, and to pioneer new realities grounded in soul wisdom. Ultimately, Aries teaches a universal truth: the most powerful flame is the one that burns within, fueled by authenticity, courage, and compassion. This fire, when mastered, becomes a radiant force that illuminates not only the path ahead but the hearts of all who dare to walk it. Aries invites each of us to confront our own inner fires, to embrace the challenges that shape us, and to become the fearless creators of our destinies. Relationships for Aries reveal a profound spiritual classroom where lessons of balance, patience, and vulnerability are taught in vivid, often intense, ways. The vibrant Aries spirit, so naturally inclined toward independence and self-assertion, sometimes struggles to fully recognize the emotional landscapes of others. This tension can create a push-pull dynamic, where the desire for freedom and authenticity meets the need for closeness and emotional attunement. The challenge here is to shift from a focus solely on self-expression to an embrace of mutuality, where listening becomes as vital as speaking, and patience softens the urgency of immediate action. Navigating love demands that Aries cultivate humility and surrender, recognizing that relationships are not conquests to be won but sacred partnerships that require compromise and deep emotional investment. The spiritual growth in this arena involves learning to share leadership, not as a battleground of dominance but as a dance of cooperation. It's about making space for another's voice, honoring vulnerability as strength, and allowing oneself to be shaped by the other's presence without losing one's essence. This delicate balance between independence and intimacy is often one of the most transformative and difficult arenas for Aries souls. Similarly, friendships and family ties bring their own complex lessons. Aries' decisive and action-oriented nature may sometimes collide with those who process life's challenges more slowly or introspectively. This can lead to misunderstandings, frustration, or impatience, as Aries feels compelled to push forward while others seek to reflect and consolidate. The spiritual invitation here is to cultivate empathy and adaptability, recognizing that true connection is not about speed or force but about honoring diverse ways of being. By embracing this diversity, Aries not only deepens their relationships but also broadens their own spiritual horizon. In professional settings, Aries shines as a dynamic force, often called to lead, innovate, and break through stagnation. The inherent drive to initiate and conquer new frontiers positions Aries naturally as pioneers in the workplace. However, the karmic lessons embedded in these roles emphasize the importance of balance between speed and strategy, individual brilliance, and teamwork. Acting with haste and impatience, while sometimes effective for breaking inertia, can undermine long-term vision and alienate colleagues. Here, Aries learns to temper their impulsive nature by valuing process and collaboration as much as results. Developing patience becomes a cornerstone of Aries' spiritual evolution in career contexts. Recognizing that being first is not always synonymous with being best opens the door to sustained success and fulfillment. Equally important is the ability to discern when to lead decisively and when to follow wisely, understanding that leadership is a fluid role rather than a fixed position. This maturity transforms Aries from a lone trailblazer into a true visionary who guides not only with energy but with wisdom and emotional intelligence. Yet perhaps the most profound arena for Aries' spiritual challenges lies within their own emotional world. The intense fire that fuels Aries' outward courage also ignites powerful inner emotions, anger, frustration, impatience, that can surge uncontrollably if left unexamined. These emotions, if not consciously managed, can create turbulence in personal relationships and self-perception, turning passion into volatility and strength into reactivity. The journey toward emotional mastery requires Aries to develop self-observation, learning to recognize emotional triggers before they erupt and to find calm within the storm. Cultivating emotional intelligence is an essential part of transforming Aries' inner fire into a creative and constructive force. This transformation is not about suppressing emotions but about channeling their energy with intention and awareness. Practices that encourage mindfulness, reflection, and emotional regulation become invaluable tools, helping Aries to balance their natural intensity with serenity and clarity. As this internal harmony grows, Aries is able to engage the world not from a place of reaction but from conscious choice, elevating their actions to align with soul-level purpose. This inner alchemy is critical because it marks the transition from a reactive warrior to an enlightened pioneer. When Aries gains mastery over their emotional landscape, they embody the true essence of leadership, not the power of control, but the power of inspiration. Their courage then becomes an invitation, their fire a beacon that encourages others to face their own inner challenges and step boldly into their authentic lives. Aries' journey inward is thus deeply connected to their capacity to serve as a catalyst for collective awakening and transformation. As Aries continues to evolve, their spiritual destiny unfolds with greater clarity. They are called to embody the principle that true courage is not measured by battles won or obstacles overcome, but by the willingness to confront and transcend internal limitations. This path leads Aries toward becoming a living example of authenticity, vulnerability, and conscious action. The soul's mission is to initiate change not from ego-driven ambition but from heartfelt intention, lighting the fire of transformation within themselves and in the world around them. This purpose reverberates through every area of Aries' life, from personal growth to relationships, career, and beyond. It calls them to sow seeds of renewal and to pioneer new ways of being that honor both individual sovereignty and collective harmony. Aries' unique role as the first sign of the zodiac symbolizes beginnings on multiple levels: personal, spiritual, societal, and with this role comes the responsibility to lead with love and wisdom, rather than force or fear. Ultimately, Aries' karmic journey is a testament to the power of the human spirit to evolve through fire. The trials they face, the wounds they carry, and the lessons they learn all serve to refine and illuminate the soul's highest potential. Through courage tempered by compassion, passion directed by wisdom, and independence balanced by connection, Aries embodies the archetype of the warrior poet, a fierce but gentle flame that lights the path for themselves and all who follow. In embracing this path, Aries invites each of us to reflect on our own inner fires. Where do we rush? Resist or react? How might we learn to channel our energy into mindful action and courageous authenticity? Their story is a call to awaken the pioneer within, to trust the spark that drives us forward, and to become leaders of change not through domination but through inspired example. Aries' spiritual legacy reminds us that the most transformative power is the one that burns quietly within, patiently shaping the world through the light of a soul fully awake. The spiritual journey of Aries is deeply intertwined with the challenge of harnessing the inner fire that defines this sign's essence. This fire is not just energy, it is a force that demands conscious mastery. Often, Aries individuals wrestle with the intensity of their emotions, which can surge like untamed embers: anger, frustration, and impatience that flare up suddenly and threaten to consume both themselves and those around them. These emotions can feel overwhelming and sometimes even destructive if not managed with awareness and compassion. Yet, beneath this turbulence lies immense potential for transformation. Aries is called to learn how to hold this fire with grace, to become the steward rather than the victim of their passions. This task requires the cultivation of self-observation, a gentle yet firm attention to one's inner landscape. Through this inner work, Aries can begin to recognize the early signals of emotional upheaval before they erupt, allowing space for reflection and conscious choice. The path toward emotional mastery is a sacred one, where the flame is not extinguished but refined, channeled into creative and healing energies that serve both the self and the wider world. This process of inner transformation is essential for Aries to fulfill their highest spiritual purpose. When the fire is balanced, it becomes a source of illumination, a beacon that guides not only the Aries soul but also those who look to them for inspiration and leadership. Emotional regulation and conscious awareness elevate Aries from impulsive action to intentional creation, from reactive fight to wise response. This shift fundamentally changes how Aries engages with life. No longer driven solely by the need to prove themselves through conflict or rapid movement, they begin to embody a leadership that flows from inner harmony. This is the transition from warrior to wise pioneer, from battling external enemies to overcoming internal limitations. The Aries who has mastered their inner fire becomes a powerful example of strength rooted in serenity and courage tempered by compassion. Alongside this inner evolution, Aries also carries the profound karmic mission of transforming impulse into wisdom. This mission is not a passive one, it requires ongoing vigilance and conscious effort. The soul that chooses Aries is drawn to be a catalyst for change, a spark that ignites new beginnings and challenges stagnant energies wherever they arise. Yet, the true challenge lies in transforming that catalytic force into constructive and sustainable momentum. Impulsiveness, if left unchecked, can lead to burnout, conflict, or unintended harm. Thus, the spiritual work for Aries involves developing discernment, knowing when to act and when to pause, when to lead boldly and when to support patiently. This nuanced understanding of timing and impact elevates Aries' natural gifts into a form of leadership that not only breaks new ground but also lays solid foundations for lasting growth. Within this broader karmic framework, Aries' gifts become clearer. Their energy is not random or chaotic but deeply purposeful, aligned with the universe's call for renewal and progress. Aries embodies the primal spark of creation, the energy that births new cycles and initiates movement from stillness. This raw creative force is a sacred gift that, when consciously wielded, has the power to transform entire communities and systems. The Aries soul is naturally equipped to start projects, inspire innovation, and motivate others to step into their own power. This gift of initiation is a crucial contribution to the collective evolution, as Aries lights the path for those who follow, showing that courage and authenticity are the keys to unlocking potential. Yet, this spiritual gift comes with the responsibility to lead with heart, not ego. Aries is invited to embody leadership that inspires rather than dominates, that uplifts rather than controls. True leadership for Aries transcends the stereotypes of aggression or impulsivity and enters the realm of conscious influence. This means leading by example, demonstrating integrity, authenticity, and a willingness to face one's own vulnerabilities. Such leadership invites others to join in co-creation rather than competition. It's a form of guidance that honors the unique contributions of each individual while fostering a shared vision for growth and transformation. Integral to this leadership is the ability to translate vision into action. Aries is not content to remain in the realm of ideas or dreams. Their soul demands movement, the actualization of potential into tangible reality. This capacity to execute and to break inertia is one of Aries' greatest strengths. The sign embodies the lesson that beginnings, no matter how uncertain, hold inherent victory simply by virtue of being started. This quality encourages Aries, and those inspired by them, to overcome fear of failure and to embrace the power of momentum. By consistently taking steps forward, Aries transforms abstract possibilities into concrete achievements, thus embodying the alchemical process of turning intention into form. The spiritual implications of this dynamic are profound. Aries teaches that courage is not the absence of fear but the willingness to move forward despite it. This insight challenges the common misconception that leadership requires perfection or certainty. Instead, Aries models a leadership style grounded in authenticity and resilience, a readiness to face setbacks, learn from them, and persist with renewed determination. This approach offers a powerful lesson not only for Aries themselves but for all who witness their journey. The ability to embrace uncertainty and act anyway becomes a source of inspiration, inviting others to trust their own inner fire and to step boldly into their personal and collective destinies. Moreover, Aries' spiritual path includes a deeply healing aspect, the power to heal through example. Their authenticity and enthusiasm for life become contagious, encouraging others to shed their masks and limitations. Aries' willingness to show up fully, with all their strengths and vulnerabilities, acts as an invitation for others to do the same. This process creates ripples of transformation, as authenticity breeds connection, and connection fosters collective healing. In this way, Aries is not just a pioneer of external frontiers but also a catalyst for inner liberation, both for themselves and for those whose lives they touch. However, the journey is not without its challenges, especially in the realm of love and relationships. Aries' passionate spirit can sometimes lead to intensity that overwhelms partners or friends, particularly when the desire for independence is mistaken for selfishness. The tension arises between the need to remain true to oneself and the requirement to cultivate empathy and compromise. This delicate balancing act is a vital spiritual lesson for Aries, as it invites them to expand their understanding of love beyond conquest or affirmation and into the sacred terrain of vulnerability, listening, and emotional reciprocity. Learning to hold space for another's emotional needs while maintaining one's own authenticity becomes a profound act of courage and growth. The field of relationships thus serves as a mirror reflecting Aries' ongoing evolution. Here, the spiritual challenges are tangible and immediate, forcing Aries to confront patterns of impatience, control, or defensiveness. Through these challenges, Aries develops humility and emotional intelligence, qualities that enhance their capacity to love deeply and fully. The journey from fierce independence to shared leadership within relationships mirrors Aries' broader spiritual mission, to lead not through force but through heart-centered connection. These lessons extend beyond romantic relationships to family and friendships, where Aries must also navigate differing tempos and approaches to life. The impatience Aries feels towards slower decision-making or emotional processing in others can create tension. Yet it also offers an opportunity to practice empathy and adaptability. Recognizing that each person's journey is unique, Aries learns to appreciate the richness of diversity within their social circles. This expansion of perspective nurtures Aries' growth as a spiritual being, enriching their capacity to build lasting, harmonious bonds. In the professional realm, Aries' energetic leadership finds fertile ground to flourish. But karmic lessons continue to unfold here as well. The drive to act swiftly and see immediate results can sometimes lead to mistakes born of haste and insufficient reflection. This pattern challenges Aries to develop patience and strategic thinking, recognizing that sustainable success often requires persistence, process, and collaboration. The ability to slow down and appreciate the journey becomes as important as the outcome itself. Moreover, Aries learns to balance the desire to lead with the wisdom to follow, understanding that leadership is not always about taking charge but sometimes about supporting others and trusting their strengths. This fluidity enhances Aries' effectiveness and deepens their professional impact. The evolution from solitary trailblazer to collaborative visionary marks a significant step in Aries' karmic growth, enabling them to become true agents of change within their fields. Throughout all these external arenas, the most demanding spiritual work remains within, the mastery of Aries' inner emotional fire. This process requires ongoing commitment to self-awareness and self-regulation. By embracing this inner work, Aries transforms their intense energy from a source of turmoil into a wellspring of creativity, passion, and healing. The mastery of emotional fire is not an endpoint but a lifelong journey, one that continuously refines Aries' capacity to lead with wisdom and love. The profound spiritual destiny of Aries is to embody transformation itself. Their soul's mission is to channel the primordial impulse of life into conscious, heart-centered leadership that ignites positive change. Aries' path involves not only blazing new trails but doing so in a way that uplifts and inspires, inviting others to awaken their own inner flames. This journey from raw impulse to refined wisdom encapsulates the essence of Aries as both pioneer and healer. In walking this path, Aries illuminates a universal truth, that true courage is found in authenticity, vulnerability, and the willingness to face one's inner challenges with compassion. The fire within Aries is a divine gift, an eternal spark that, when tended with care, has the power to transform not only the individual soul but the collective consciousness. Aries calls each of us to recognize our own inner fire and to use it wisely, courageously, and lovingly as we navigate the unfolding journey of life. The emotional intensity that Aries carries is often one of the most challenging aspects of their spiritual path. This inner fire can blaze with such passion that it sometimes feels uncontrollable, threatening to spill over into anger, frustration, and impatience. These emotions, if left unmanaged, have the potential to disrupt not only Aries' own peace but also their relationships and surroundings. Yet, within this volatility lies a deep opportunity for growth. Aries is invited to cultivate emotional intelligence, learning to witness their feelings without judgment and to transform impulsive reactions into thoughtful responses. This process involves developing patience, a quality that feels foreign to the quick-moving Aries nature, and embracing self-compassion as a tool for healing. Through such inner work, the fierce flames of Aries are not dampened but refined, allowing the fire to illuminate rather than consume. This alchemy from turbulence to tranquility is a crucial turning point in Aries' spiritual evolution. This journey toward emotional mastery is not just about internal peace, it is foundational for the broader mission Aries is here to fulfill. The raw energy that drives Aries to act with such boldness also carries a sacred responsibility, to channel that energy consciously into positive creation. When Aries learns to govern their emotional world, they unlock the ability to inspire others authentically. This is where Aries' true leadership shines, not in the loudest voice or the quickest action, but in the quiet strength of example. By embodying balance and courage, Aries becomes a living testament to the power of transformation, showing others that passion, when tempered by awareness, becomes a force for healing and growth. This is the essence of Aries' spiritual leadership, a warrior spirit that fights for love, not conflict, for authenticity, not dominance. This transformative power of Aries is also vividly expressed in the realm of love and relationships, where their fiery spirit meets its greatest challenges and opportunities. Aries loves intensely, with a passion that can both exhilarate and overwhelm. The challenge here lies in navigating the delicate balance between asserting independence and nurturing emotional intimacy. Aries' karmic lessons ask them to cultivate humility, the willingness to listen deeply, to honor their partner's needs alongside their own, and to engage in love as a mutual exchange rather than a conquest. This shift invites Aries to discover that true strength in love comes not from control or assertiveness alone but from vulnerability, patience, and shared leadership. As Aries opens their heart more fully, they transform relationships into sacred spaces of growth, healing, and authentic connection. This process, while sometimes demanding, ultimately enriches Aries' capacity to give and receive love in its deepest and most fulfilling forms. Extending beyond romantic relationships, Aries encounters similar challenges in family and friendships. Their natural decisiveness and eagerness to act can sometimes clash with loved ones who prefer a slower, more reflective pace. This disparity tests Aries' ability to exercise empathy and adaptiveness. Learning to honor different rhythms and approaches becomes a spiritual practice, one that deepens Aries' understanding of connection. By embracing diversity in thought and emotion, Aries not only strengthens their bonds but also expands their own spiritual awareness. This evolution nurtures patience and tolerance, qualities that enhance Aries' role as a leader and a friend, allowing them to foster relationships grounded in respect and mutual growth rather than control or impatience. Within professional settings, Aries continues to display their dynamic, pioneering spirit, but here two karmic lessons weave their influence. The impulse to act rapidly and see immediate results is both a blessing and a challenge. While Aries' boldness often catalyzes innovation and breaks deadlocks, unchecked haste can lead to mistakes and missed opportunities for strategic planning. The spiritual work in this domain involves cultivating a balance between speed and deliberation, learning to value the process as much as the outcome. This maturity transforms Aries into not only a trailblazer but a wise architect of sustainable success. Furthermore, Aries learns that leadership is multifaceted. It requires both the courage to lead boldly and the humility to follow when appropriate. This flexibility enhances Aries' effectiveness and expands their influence, enabling them to inspire teams and foster environments of collaboration and mutual respect. As Aries navigates the external world, the most profound challenges and growth opportunities remain within the mastery of their own inner emotional landscape. Developing emotional regulation is not a one-time achievement but a continuous practice. Aries must learn to observe their emotions with kindness, allowing themselves to experience feelings fully without being overwhelmed. This conscious engagement fosters resilience and emotional intelligence, empowering Aries to respond to life's challenges with clarity and grace. Such mastery turns their natural intensity into a source of creative power, fueling endeavors with focused passion rather than reactive energy. This inner harmony is a gateway to true spiritual leadership, as it enables Aries to embody courage anchored in wisdom and compassion. At the core of Aries' spiritual destiny lies the transformation of raw impulse into conscious, heart-led action. Their soul's mission is to serve as a beacon of light, a pioneer who initiates change with authenticity and integrity. This calling transcends personal ambition and taps into a universal purpose, to ignite transformation within themselves and others. Aries is tasked with showing that true strength arises not from domination or control but from the willingness to be vulnerable, authentic, and courageous. This evolution from impulsive warrior to enlightened leader marks the highest expression of Aries' soul journey. In embodying this mission, Aries becomes a catalyst for collective awakening. Their energy invites others to confront their own fears and limitations, inspiring a ripple effect of growth and transformation. The path Aries walks is one of continuous renewal, a cycle of breaking old patterns, embracing new possibilities, and lighting the way forward with unwavering determination. This sacred role positions Aries not only as a leader of beginnings but also as a guardian of authentic evolution, helping to usher in a more conscious and compassionate world. Trusting in this path requires Aries to embrace both their fire and their shadows, recognizing that each challenge and wound carries a lesson and an opportunity for healing. It is through this integration of light and shadow that Aries finds their greatest power, the ability to lead from a place of wholeness and love. This realization is the ultimate gift Aries offers the world, the courage to be unapologetically oneself and the wisdom to guide others to do the same. As we reflect on Aries' karmic journey and spiritual mission, it becomes clear that their story is one of profound transformation. From the primordial spark of life to the conscious act of leadership, Aries embodies the eternal dance of fire, destructive and creative, fierce and tender, impulsive and wise. Their journey invites us all to awaken the pioneer within, to trust our inner fire, and to move forward with courage and compassion on our own unique paths. If this exploration resonated with you, I invite you to join this community of cosmic seekers by subscribing to the channel. Your support helps us continue to dive deep into the mysteries of the zodiac and spiritual growth. Don't forget to like this video if you found it insightful, and share it with friends who might be inspired by Aries' transformative journey. I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences, so please leave a comment below. What spiritual challenges are you currently working through? Together, we can light the fire of positive transformation and support each other on this beautiful journey of self-discovery. Thank you for being here, for your openness, and for trusting your own inner flame. Remember, your courage and authenticity are the light that the world needs right now. Keep shining bright. And until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the magic of the stars.